So we are sneaking into your feed today with a mini podcast. We're changing it up a little bit. I say we because Alana's here with me.
Hello.
But we thought we do a lot of videos and we've done this sort of stuff before, but I guess for me today, I wanted to kind of mix it up a little. So do maybe something more podcasty than our usual video style. But the reason why we're on here today on Mother's Day is to share with you, it's really not my news to share, but I'm totally sharing it, I'm stealing your thunder, that we, I say we like I'm doing all the work, but we are welcoming an OCD baby soon. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. So I guess to clarify, I am not having a baby. Who's having a baby?
I'm having a baby. The OCD baby is coming from Alana. The OCD baby will be born on August 9th, if all goes to plan.
Oh, that is so exciting. And I've obviously known for a little while now. All of our clients know, so I'm hoping no one's listening to this going, what? Who? Huh? No, we have shared this with everyone that needs to know or needed to know prior to now. But yeah, so very, very exciting times. And I thought to myself, when do we share this exciting news with our broader social media community or broader Organise.Curate.Design community? And thought, what better day but Mother's Day? So we're dropping this in our social media feeds, as I said, more as a podcast as opposed to seeing us. That's probably because I didn't really want to brush my hair today, so I was like, nah. But I thought I'd take today and this exciting news as an opportunity to chat to you, because I've been a mum for a little while now. I've been a mum for over 16 years. It's been a while. But you're about to enter this new phase of your life, and Mother's Day is a really exciting time, even when you are in this pregnancy stage. So tell us, how's your pregnancy going? How has it been so far?
How has it been? So I'm now 26 weeks, which is a really nice time, and where everyone says enjoy the second trimester. And I think it's really true because the first trimester can be rough, and we've been really blessed that everything with baby is all on track and we haven't had any major or really anything to kind of work through. But I was, really lovely hit with that morning sickness right up until about 20 weeks, which I was kind of hanging out for that 14-week mark thinking this is when people say that it usually goes away. But no, the daily nausea was there. But I like to say that I don't want to complain because everything else has been so on track. So if that's the worst so far, then that's okay. And I'm really enjoying this time now where I feel a lot more vibrant, and baby's kicking lots. And it's a really nice reminder that yes, it's a boy, he's in there, and he's doing well.
And that's so lovely, I guess, for for myself and those of us, or those who are listening or tune into this, that have been pregnant before, or had babies before. We do remember that stage, and I think that resonates for me as well. I do remember that middle stage was the easiest as such. You do feel your best. Then eventually you enter the last stage and everything's a bit like there's just not much room left in that belly, and baby's trying to find the space, but that is yet to come for you. But it's on the horizon because it happens so quickly. Like even when you just said how many weeks you were, I was like, really? But I feel like it's flown by.
It definitely has, and I'm hoping my giant pregnancy pillow takes me through right till the end and I'm as comfortable as possible.
I'm going to give you a tip. That pregnancy pillow, you'll just use it forever. Like I have all these random things that I'm like, why do I still have this? I'm like, because it's really comfortable, or it's great for my back, or there's a lot of pregnancy stuff that's like, make it for everyone, because everyone should just be comfortable, but that's a whole nother conversation. Totally. So, and I guess this is an interesting one, but my question is, what have you found most interesting about this stage of being a mother, or this stage of pregnancy, or whatever else? I guess, is it right now, are you already feeling like a mother, or is it still a bit surreal? Or like I don't remember how I felt when I was, especially with my first child. I don't know if I
Yeah.
felt like a mother yet, but I
I
probably
know, I
did.
think there's a few things there. I think I sit a little bit on the fence of, yes, every day. Sometimes I even forget, like I'm lying on my back and I'm like, I can't do that. I'm pregnant. So I need to fix myself and roll on my side. And you almost forget that you're pregnant. So yes, it's still a little bit surreal in that sense. But then I'm definitely, even from that very first moment of finding out, I feel like I just kind of inherited that motherly instinct of, everything that you need to make sure baby's okay. And you kind of which a few mums, or my mother and my in-law to be, have kind of remind me that when you become a mum, you always worry a little bit more than what you would have
Mm,
before becoming a mum.
mm,
So it's funny
yeah.
just to catch yourself, um, I suppose, overthinking things a little bit more than you did before. So I think that
Mhm.
motherly instinct has set in. And just getting used to, they say that he can hear us already, and getting used to
Mm,
almost chatting to him, like chatting to my belly is such a funny thing, because you kind of look down and go, hey, like what's going on? But are they responding? Are they there? Are they kicking? So yeah, I
mm,
think it's definitely sitting on the fence. But I mean, I feel like our nearly 5-year-old now, Staffy, is my 3-year-old. So
mm,
I feel like, I don't know, having a human baby is not the same as having a dog baby. But I don't know, it's just, yeah, it's an interesting one to navigate, in the feelings of, I don't have this child yet in the world, but I'm still a mum and I'm
mm.
growing a baby. So you want to do
Yeah.
the best you can for your child, or unborn child, or at this stage.
Yeah. And that nurturing feeling, that feeling of, worrying or protecting or nurturing, it's that instinct is there for a reason because,
Mm.
if you're out on the town, not that that's even your thing, I know it's not, but if you're like out partying every night and doing God knows, like putting God knows what into your body, that it doesn't serve the whole nurturing
Mm.
that your body is obviously already giving you instincts on. So yeah, no, that makes sense. I think a lot of people that would resonate with a lot of people or first
Yeah.
time moms anyway. Um, now we don't. I probably talk about my age occasionally because I'm nearing my 40s, but we don't really talk about your age, or you and I don't really get on here and chat about you as a person, as opposed to you as a Organise.Curate.Design team member. But you are a young mum, young as in
Mm.
first time mum, and also young as in your age, being in your early 20s. But I remember being a young mum. We're
Mm.
actually very similar in our ages of our first children. And I'm really curious to hear what that experience is like in 2021.
Mm. Yeah, it definitely crossed my mind in the beginning of, almost a fear of judgment, which you kind of grasp with, of, it's my life, it's my decision. Don't worry about what anyone else has to say. But at the same time, you do. You think, I wonder what my schoolmates might be thinking, or I wonder if people are thinking, hey, are you sure you're making the right decision? As anyone does. It's like anyone that gets
Mm,
married young, or anyone that does anything that, is adulty, in
mhm,
quotation marks. So you always think, people want to make sure that you've made the right decision. So that was definitely a fear of mine in the beginning, of judgment. But the minute that we shared the news, obviously with family first, the just overwhelming joy and excitement was so beautiful, that it just makes you remember that it doesn't, those sorts of things don't matter. And it's something
mm,
that we've wanted for quite a while. So it was really just more of a reminder for me to kind of reflect inward and go, hey, it's our decision. It's our thing. Let us just enjoy this little bubble and don't let any external judgment. But in saying that, we've actually only really received really, really positive, like I said, joy and excitement for the news. So I haven't found that I actually have received, whether that's to me, or I haven't just heard it, but I haven't felt that I have found, received that
mm,
judgment. And it's almost like, as a little bit of an excitement, because we've seen that the average age of first time mums have shifted. And even just chatting to my obstetrician, it's almost like a little bit of an excitement to see, that it kind of moving again to that,
mm,
just, a broader range where, it is okay, and society knows it's okay for younger mums to be having babies. And it's actually really nice to see that there's excitement around that. So it's an interesting one. You would think that maybe I would have received a bit more judgment than or heard murmurs and things, but I haven't, and it's really, really nice.
Yeah. Well, that's really great to hear, and I think, like, don't get me wrong, your obstetrician's probably like, yes, this is the best, because it just, it's the earlier we know biologically, you're in that prime baby making age. That's just the reality of
That's it.
how it works for women. But I think we've come a long way when it comes to understanding what women need to support each other, and what they need, especially in those early days of being a mother. And we always hear this phrase, it takes a village, but we don't act on it very well. But I think we're getting better at that, and it is one of the joys of online and social media, where you can reach out to people and not feel as alone, and whatever else. So that is really good to hear, that you're getting really positive. And as you said, like, it's only the people that you are talking to are the people that matter. It's your friends and family who are super excited for you, and they're going to be the ones that are on this journey of bringing a child into the world.
Yeah,
So what are you finding that you're most kind of nervous or curious about when it comes to this new phase of your life?
yeah. I think I'm actually a lot more excited than I am nervous, and I hope it stays that way all the way to the end. I know when it comes to the birth itself, for me, I'm looking at it in the light of it's such an empowering thing as a woman to be able to do that. So I'm just staying on that really positive excitement
Mm.
side. Um, I think I really need to start reading some more books. Everyone says read books about the first 6 weeks. So I think that's probably what I need to get a little bit more organized about, because they're like, yeah, you can read about birthing the baby, but once the baby comes home, you need to know what to do with it. So that's
Yeah, like,
definitely
you don't
something I
get to
know I
just
need
take
to.
it back when it's hard.
No, it's not like a dog where you feed it twice a day and it does its thing during the day. It needs constant attention. So that's definitely something that I just go, yep, got to get on top of. Um, Curious, I'm really excited to see how me and my partner then are as parents. I think we always feel like we've been on a very similar page with that, and have similar kind of aspirations and goals for what it's like to build our family together. And so I'm really curious to see how that changes as baby comes and we settle
Mm.
into life as a family.
Yeah. I think it will be really interesting for you to see what roles you default into, and then what you bring into your parenting that you bring from your own parenting.
Mm.
So, like, that you've received as a child. Yeah, the moment you hear one of your parents come out of your mouth, you go, "What? When?"
Yeah.
And that's
I
when
thought
you
that
know.
was a
But
vice and
yeah.
now I'm doing it.
Yeah, 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 totally. And then also, it makes you I've read so many kind of, like, memes and things about realizing how weird your family is when you hear that what you think is really normal, because you grew up doing this one thing, or like a handful of things, and then someone goes, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "Doesn't everyone eat their cereal this way?" Or whatever it is. And it's like, "Oh no, that's my family." So when you merge that with, these two parents bringing up this child and creating something new, it's a fun thing to be curious about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very exciting. And what have been your kind of biggest joys so far? You already touched on that beautiful moment where you get to share it with your family. I can imagine that's definitely one of the major ones.
Yeah,
What else has
100%.
been really great for you?
What has been great? I love any time we get to see Bubba. That's really exciting. Just any time you hear that heartbeat, I get tears to my eyes every time, because
Yeah.
it's just beautiful, and he's in there
Mm.
and he's safe and sound, and it's just a really, really gorgeous sound to hear. Um,
Mm.
I think there's a lot for me to come in the third trimester when it comes to learning and transitioning into setting up the nursery and learning all the things about baby. So I think the biggest joys in pregnancy are to come, but of
Mm.
course, so far it's definitely been that moment of finding out and getting that call to say, yes, you're pregnant. No, seeing baby's heartbeat for the first time and knowing, hey, he's in there. There's a little life in there,
Mm.
and definitely sharing with family, because for us, family is everything, and that's such a big, tight group for us that I made such an effort to even just have everyone's reactions on video and just be able to relive that. I'm a crazy, like,
Yeah.
take photos and videos of everything just to relive memories and joyous
Yeah.
occasions. So definitely that's been a highlight for us.
Yeah. And even being able to one day share that with your son, to go, look how excited people were that you were coming into this world. And that's a really special thing to have, because, sometimes you can't capture those moments. So, oh, that's really lovely. That's just
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. So, as we enter the rest of today being Mother's Day, I know, well, we're not recording this on Mother's Day, obviously, but we are releasing it to our listeners and our followers on Mother's Day. What are you doing to celebrate? Are you doing anything?
Oh, yeah, no, luckily I'm up in Queensland, which is where my parents are, and my mum's here. So waking up with mum on Mother's Day will be a beautiful way just to celebrate with
Mm.
my mum. And both of my grandmas are still luckily with me. So I'll
Mm.
get to see both of them, and really just
Oh,
quality time will be just beautiful for me.
so
Breakfast
many
and brunches and
generations of
lunches.
mums.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool to see. And that's it. My grandparents, or one of my grandmothers will be a great grandmother for the second time with our baba, and the other will be for the first time. So I
Mm.
think it's just a real joy in the air for that. And like you said, another generation to come. So just quality time spent with all the mums in my life.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations again. Though
Yeah.
the reality is, uh, a an organized curate design baby means a lack of Alana for however long your baby, and you decide that you want to stay in your bubble of being together at home. And we will, we'll get through that stage of the transition of life without Alana. I'll get through that stage over the next few months. But it's just, congratulations to you and Ben. It's such an exciting time. And even though, as you said, you're in this kind of limbo state of I'm a mum, but I'm a mum sort of, I'm really glad to hear that you get to celebrate today with these, all of the other women in your life that are mums. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and that you and Ben make the most of it, most of your time together, just the two of you, or and your dog, because he's like 100% a part of the family, and he lets everyone know. So have a wonderful Mother's Day, and I guess to our listeners and our followers, I hope that you're enjoying your day, be it with mum, if you're someone that's lost your mum or whatever else. I hope you're surrounded by lots of love, because this day can be tricky for some people out there, but I hope that you're having a fantastic day and enjoying Mother's Day however you is best for you. But thanks, Alana, for sharing a little bit about yourself and your life with us. We don't often probe into your life, but what a great day to celebrate.
Yeah, thank you. And happy Mother's Day to you as well. Spend the day with your
Thank
two
you.
boys and your two dog boys. So you've got
And
lots
my
of
two
boys.
dogs. Yeah,
That's it.
the house full of boys.
That's
That's
it.
very much it. Yeah, so have a great day, guys, and we will chat to you again soon.